Welcome back. It's Man to Man Show, mantomanshow.com with Tim Brown, Vince Bailey, and boy, we are chopping it up, all the issues that men deal with but never want to talk about. And this is a doozy here, Tim. He's been married to this sister, he says, for 2 years. And she has been going through his money, taking him to the cleaners. He was raised in a scenario where mom and daddy told him how to take care of his money and save and doing things like this. And she's got the latest, greatest everything. And he's trying to say, hey, do I need to get out of this relationship or what? Can you help the brother, Tim?
A big spender can be difficult to deal with.
Okay.
Can cause problems in the relationship. But I wouldn't say just throw in the towel just yet.
Okay.
The first thing you need to do is have that conversation and try to come up with some type of plan.
Everything with you is a conversation.
It
always starts with it. That's where it starts, the conversation. All right.
And that's the most important part of it.
Okay.
Is that conversation.
Okay.
Because if we don't talk about it, we don't know about it.
Okay.
We can't figure it out.
All right.
So you got to sit your wife down and figure out what's going on. You need to establish some type of financial plan for the family. And he needs to try to figure out how to get her on board, so that she can understand what the plan is. And most times you can comfort a person, man or woman, you know, with a plan that you have in place to try to get something done. So if he sits his wife down with a plan of what he's trying to accomplish for the family, what they need to be trying to do together, that is a first step to try to help her understand why her spending is such a problem. As opposed to just telling her, no, stop, don't. Because like we said before, when we tell people what they can't do, human nature says we figure out a way to do it anyway. They typically rebel. So if he's approaching her with this combative attitude, frustrated, angry, honey, stop, no, you can't spend this money, she's gonna spend it just on GP to show him that I make money too, so you can't tell me what to do with my money. Secondly, you know, you need to work together in this financial scenario, because I hear some couples that I pay a bill, you pay your bill, and they have their money separated. So if their money is separated, they need to bring their money together. Is my suggestion.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work, having your money separated, is what you're saying.
Because when people separate their money in relationships, in marriages, I'll say, it has already created this mindset that it's me, mine's, yours, and his or hers. So when you bring it together, now it's ours. So you're thinking in terms of us together when you work your money together. Now, one thing that has usually helped for a lot of couples, and it works for my wife and I, is that we set our budget. We know what's required to maintain the home. So from that, we include ourselves in the budget. Based on your income, you want to determine how much discretionary money you have, which is how much money you have that you can spend to enjoy on yourselves, to go shopping, make it rain, do whatever it is you do. So you literally want to put within that budget as a line item, my wife, myself. Some people call it mad money, or, you know, and call it whatever you want to call it, but it needs to be there so that she knows and feels that she isn't being controlled. Because for a lot of people, they will spend or do things just because they don't want someone else to feel like they're controlling them. And again, it's a type of rebellion. So if he creates a line item for her that says she gets $100 every pay period, $200 every pay period, whatever their budget can withstand, they do that and determine that this is what she's able to spend however she wants to spend it during the course of the month. And then if she needs to tap into other money from the household, they need to talk about it. And there needs to be a limit on how much you can spend without having to talk to one another.
I know that could be a tough scenario for someone who perhaps grew up, didn't have to worry about that. You know, perhaps come from, you know, means, what have you. They got money. I never had to ask for any money. And daddy, whoever always took care of me, and why are you not taking care of me?
Some of them spoiled.
A lot of them spoiled. I think that's where a lot of issues come up in our marriages today. And so, I mean, I can see that point, but I think what you're trying to say is this is how we can get beyond that point.
That's
if we're going to work together.
And see, and that problem begins premarital counseling. Which why I said it's so important, because if they go through premarital counseling, and I'm guessing that they did not, because they're having this situation, because he will have a better understanding as to how to deal with it. And if they did go through the counseling, they probably didn't cover some of those areas that are important, like finances. Because when you're going through premarital counseling, especially with my wife and I, we make sure we cover that, because we know how much of a problem that can cause, as we see with the question that we're dealing with right now. So you need to, again, get her on board with the plan. Come up with a plan together. He needs to give her some input, allow her to voice her opinion, her thoughts, and make her know that she's included and involved in the decisions that are being made financially for the home. Otherwise, she's probably going to continue to do that.
And you as a counselor, I mean, you deal, I'm sure this issue of money, finances comes up a lot.
Right.
So, I mean, is that the blanket answer for everyone? Does everyone have to deal? Is there just that one, this is how it's got to be done in order for it to work?
In most cases, and I don't say that it's a blanket answer, but I would say that it's a blanket start.
Okay.
To be able to get to a resolution, because everyone won't respond the same way.
Right.
So, some people just don't care. Some people just won't try to work with you. And I think in his question, he was saying that he needed to know if maybe he needed to just walk away.
Right.
And avoid financial
Cheaper to
destruction.
Keep her. Let me just answer that right quick. Cheaper to keep her.
In some cases.
Yes, in some cases.
In some cases.
Right.
In his case, depending on what she's spending, it may not be, and we don't, I don't know that. But it's a great start. Okay. And he has to start with that to try to come to some type of understanding to begin to fix it, because it's tough. And I've seen couples, where the wife spends, gets credit cards in his name and maxes those cards out, and that's bad. That is bad.
Well, that's why he is the expert. It's Tim Brown. It's Man to Man Show, mantomanshow.com. All you have to do to get your answers to your questions is to write us help@mantomanshow.com. That's help, HELP, @mantomanshow.com. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with more in just a moment.